I want to touch on that idea of flavor. And this kind of ties into the question that Denis put in there. He says, how much do you think the flavor of the mushroom determines its medicinal value? I think you use the term like organoleptics, right? Which is really empowering for people to, yes, they can get into the science, they can get into the research, they can get into the level that you have, but every single person in this moment can access that truth by tasting. So explain that.
Your organoleptic senses are your taste, your smell, your sight, your feel, like all of your five senses are organoleptics. But really, when it comes to taste, you have been built over thousands and thousands of generations to taste chemistry and decide if it's good or bad, if it's poisonous or going to bring you energy, right? So you're already the most sophisticated you have the most sophisticated capacity to understand chemistry from a physiological perspective. And that's how your body learns. That's how our bodies all learn, from the types of chemistry we put in our mouth and how we expose ourselves to chemistry. So even when we look at things like water and what Dr. Emoto did with like emotions in water, or tap water versus spring water, the chemistry and the shapes of the bonds and the change of it make a huge impact on how the body feels and vibrates and educates, right? We can just see with simple H2O, but when it comes to more advanced chemistry, our bodies are able to really pick up a lot from that. So there's ways in which they're attempting to understand the energetics of the plant. With mushrooms, you can really pick up the energetics of the mushroom, the personality of it, when you eat the fruiting body, when you cook it up, or when you make it into a tea, or when you make it into a tincture, especially when you make it into a tincture, because now you're able to lock in different kinds of chemistry, depending on like a water-soluble chemistry if you do a decoction, and alcohol-soluble chemistry if you do an alcohol extraction. And so with each type of medium that you might extract it with, you'll be able to lock in different chemistry. But really what it comes down to is you are the best barometer. So I highly recommend, if you are taking mushroom supplements right now, you open up capsules and you taste them. If it's in something like a smoothie drink, you can't always do that. But if you are taking either a capsule or a tincture or a powder, it's really easy to do that. You know, reishi has such a personality. It's so bitter. It's got all these terpenes. It builds this really profound effect when you taste it. It almost has that like, like this is something of spiritual potency, So, whereas like
it's something from Chinese herbalism, hey, Yarrow, that the flavors are, well, as soon as you start to taste it in your mouth, that's when the brain chemistry starts.
Mm-hmm.
The brain chemistry begins
100%.
when you're tasting the flavor.
I think that goes into why, like both Lightseller and Harmonic Arts and other folks that have been in this same narrative have really been like, part of that food is your medicine and medicine is thy food, is connecting with it through the taste, through the sensory perception. And